Hi and welcome to Infinite Brass 1.6. 1.6 is another big update for Infinite Brass, and here we'll do a quick rundown of the most important changes. Two things you'll notice straight away are the new horn mics and the low brass refresh, but there's a plethora of other improvements and features, so let's go in order. Two bug fixes worth highlighting are the improved note of handling, which will reduce the chances of note hangings every time you stop the playback in your DAW, and the second one is the phasing fix. A couple users reported completely random phasing, so that's now been taken care of. Humanize is now disabled by default. A number of users didn't seem to notice it was on non-leader instruments and would experience inconsistent playback and note hangings on really fast playing. So to avoid further confusion, it's now off by default. If you need it, you know where it is. On to the improvements. By popular demand, attack accuracy has been renamed to pitch accuracy and will now affect sustained pitch drift as well, instead of just note attacks. Not to the same degree though, note attacks will still have more pitch drift as this control is dialed down. Pitch bend range is now unlocked and you can set it here. This lets you do a lot more with trumpets when it comes to screams, duets, etc., as well as with other instruments, heavier bends. The samples in Infinite Brass are stereo by default. This was done to somewhat counter the static nature of impulse responses. Mono compatibility will switch the instrument to single channel mode, increasing correlation when using close mics in exchange for a slightly more static stereo image. Additionally, close mic panning will now more consistently follow the instrument position. Speaking about close mics, horns now have an alternate close miking option. The instrument mics allow you to get more of that direct horn sound into your mix, which is great for adding details to your horn lines. Here's an example. And with the standard close mics. You can switch freely between close and instrument mics. You can even do so when mixed mic is enabled, and this will switch to a new set of mic mixes. This is also a 300 megabyte increase in library size that comes with this update. Legato has been improved across all instruments. To what degree and in what direction varies from instrument to instrument. While in trumpets it's mostly down to how it responds to playing softer, in horns it's made more musical on softer velocities and more aggressive on harder velocities. Rips and falls have been possible with Infinite pretty much since the start. In horns, they've been a bit harder to do because of their legato response, so the solution was to sequence them instead and not have overlapping notes, which would allow us to have a decently connected sound while having control over each note's attack. But now you can also do the overlapping notes, which means it's easier to play them in live. And also you can really push the trills now. I have a MIDI clip of a rip I played, and I'll play this exact same MIDI clip through horns in 1.6 and then through the old horns from 1.5, just so you can hear the difference in response. Now the old horns from 1.5. That's the exact same clip. Here's 1.6 again. Of course, all 6 horns are playing at once here, and Humanize is enabled, so there will be small differences every time I press play. The humanization becomes very obvious in fast lines like this. That's kind of the beauty of it. If I needed the rip to sound the same every time, I would not use Humanize and would instead have the MIDI on each horn individually. Okay, horns now also have more musical note attacks, especially in louder dynamics. Okay, let me just cut this MIDI clip right here, and let's drop it onto horns 1.5, so we can play it there and hear how that sounds. And let's do 1.6, but let's do with the standard close mics now, so it could be a fair comparison. Yeah, that sounds much better. Part of the low brass refresh included rewriting parts of the engine, especially the one handling lower end behavior. So the improvement there echoes across Infinite Brass, and along with instrument mics, it really makes a difference in horns. A single horn. And just for comparison, this is a single horn in 1.5. That's pretty jarring. You'll hear this in trumpets as well. And back to 1.5. Trumpets also received improvements to the stereo image, resulting in more clarity. This is slowly ramped up ever since their rework in 1.4, as I didn't really want to overdo it. And the reasoning is, well, while you can easily add in room with external reverb or dialing in the ambient mics, you can't really take it away. Isotope might disagree with me, but you can't really take away reverb. And 1.5. Something similar happened to trombones. You can hear the legato changes there as well. Here's 1.5. It's very obvious in tenor and bass trombones, especially when playing shorts. The context is the same. You can add room, but you can't really take it away. If you want that low-mid stuff in, just drop any reverb which has an EQ on it, roll off the highs a bit, and well, there you go. So when it comes to trombones, take the better imaging, better legato, and better pedal tones, and this is what you get. Of course, this is infinitely cooler when you handle each one individually. Their dynamics, the growls, the flutters. Let's play the same thing with the same instrumentation in 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 is just too clean. Naturally, if you got into it, you could get a decent amount out of it, but Infinite's all about letting you play stuff, so that's what we're moving towards. And now if you do it in octaves and with a contrabass too, it sounds like this. And that will be it. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.